Welcome back to the news at 10. The British High Minister for Africa, Mr. Tobias Elwood, has assured Nigeria of Britain's continued support to ensure the rescue of the abducted Chibok schoolgirls. Mr. Tobias gave the assurance in Abuja after a closed-door meeting with members of the Bring Back Our Girls campaign group at the United Kingdom's High Commission. Meanwhile, co-convener of the Bring Back Our Girls campaign, Obi Ezekwesili, says the group will not relent until the girls return home.
It's almost 900 days since these girls were taken, and it isn't just Nigeria that is watching this. The entire international community has its eyes on what is happening here, and it shows what more needs to be done to challenge these insurgencies and make sure these things don't happen again. Britain is doing everything that we can to work with Nigeria to support the people caught up in this and provide the necessary structures to make sure that we can do our best to free the girls as soon as possible. There is always more that we can do, and I'll be meeting with the Vice President immediately, and the first thing on my agenda will be discussion of the Chibok girls.
We're going to continue to demand for the rescue of our Chibok girls. We continue to expect that countries with capabilities like the UK, the US and France would support our government in every effort. All the three options that are available for rescuing our girls remain very important as approaches for ensuring that our girls come back. It's soon going to be day 900. It's too long. The girls must be brought back.
That's all from Abuja. Back to you, Amarachi.
Thanks a lot, Linda. Back in Lagos, residents of Angwan Shawu and Angwan Galadima in Lafia, the Nasarawa State capital, are appealing to the government to build water channels to reduce the menace of erosion. They made the appeal when Channels Television visited the areas to assess the level of destruction caused by recent floods. Tonight, our community report looks at the plight of those affected.
Etisalat, now you're talking.
Vivid pictures showing the level of destruction in Angwan Shawu. Houses built many years ago, now on the verge of being washed away by erosion. No more roads. Market space is completely taken over, and not even the police post could escape the ravaging force of the fierce erosion. These children, not knowing what the future holds for them and this community, are for now enjoying the presence of the camera. The story of this community is pathetic, as many of the houses have been washed away.
You see, my vehicle parked, there's no way to go out. I will have loss of life in this area and demolition of houses by rain, by erosion.
In the neighboring Galadima community, the story is similar. Some houses destroyed and many reportedly killed. Those who are left here paint a picture of abandonment by the authorities.
This erosion started when I was a child. Now it has destroyed our houses and roads. We've been appealing to the government, but to no avail.
We have been going through a lot of challenges. We have nowhere to go. This is the only house we have inherited from our parents, but erosion is disturbing us. As a result of this, we lost a couple with 5 other houses. We are calling on both the federal and state government to assist us. We do not know what to do.
Life here is nothing to cheer about, but the government raises hope of a silver lining.
There are several of these manifestations in the ecological problems, and you have to take one after the other. We don't have the resources. The state doesn't have the resources to take them at once. So the state government has taken note of that particular Anguan Shao's problem, and I'm very sure that in the course of time, that problem will be addressed.
For 30 years, the two communities have waited for a solution to come. Now that the authorities have again promised to reverse the anguish of the past, they're hoping that the promises will bring smiles on the faces of the residents, who for now seem to have given up.
Etisala, now you're talking.
Time now for some business news. Here's Emana Amawe.
You first. First Bank.
Very many thanks for staying with us. Welcome to Business News. Oil prices rose as much as 6% today on a report that OPEC members have reached a deal to limit oil supply by November this year. The oil producers agreed to reduce crude oil output to 32.5 million barrels per day from the current levels of around 33.24 million barrels per day. The report sent global oil stocks and U.S. market stocks mostly higher on Wednesday and pushed the dollar down against a number of other world currencies. Brent crude rose by 5.5% to $48.50 a barrel by 7:46 local time, while U.S. West Intermediate climbed by 5.2% to $47.05 a barrel. Now, after 2 days of dialogue, the World Pension Summit Africa Special in Abuja has come to a close. At the meeting, which was concluded this evening, regulators and pension administrators resolved to continue the conversations after the summit. According to the Director General of the Pension Commission, Ms. Chinelo Anoho Amazu, projects in the pipeline will be made known by working groups in October after various evaluations.
Way into smaller groups for efficiency and productivity. And to that end, I know we're talking with Solomon, who was very incisive on the dynamics of pension investments. We've arranged PENCOM and the IFC to, by the end of October, to organize a small stakeholders meeting. And the key outcome of that meeting will be to identify the projects we would work on and assign roles within the stakeholders. So we can actually move this conversation from continually talking about infrastructural investments, housing investments, real estate, impact investment, and move it directly to what needs to happen. These are projects ongoing, starting with a definitive timeline.
Trading at the Nigerian Stock Exchange ended southwards for a second consecutive session following sell-offs from key industrial and banking equities. Analysts expect bearish sentiments to continue later this week. Here's Millicent Walker with more.
Hello and welcome to the Stock Market Report. Primary indicators on the Nigerian Stock Exchange dropped further by 0.04% at the end of today's trading session in response to more profit booking by investors, and that pushed the market capitalization down by more than 1 billion naira to 9.69 trillion naira. Market breadth was mixed, with 22 price gainers against 23 losers on the price table. The top three advancers were Law Union and Rock, Learn Africa and Mobile, while Owando, Shaka Cement and Better Glass topped the losers category. A total of 159 million shares were traded in today's transaction for more than 1.5 billion naira in 3,237 deals. Much of that turnover came from FCMB, Access Bank and Fidelity Bank. And that ends the stock market reports. I am BC Adebayo.
Thank you, BC, for the update. Well, U.S. markets reacted positively to the agreement by OPEC to cut output before the end of the year, while other major world stocks closed mixed earlier. Let's see some of the figures. That's it on Business News tonight. Thank you for staying with us. I'm Imana Amawe. It's back to Amarachi.
You first. First Bank.
One feat pension experts say they want to see evolve in Africa in the next few years is the aggressive inclusion of members of the informal sector into pension schemes. They made this remark at the World Pension Summit in Abuja, adding that this will provide social security for those yet to be captured into various pension schemes across the continent.
In Africa, most persons captured in the pension scheme work in the formal sector. Many of them get benefits from their savings when they retire. This is, however, not the case for workers in the informal sector, as they bear the brunt of whatever challenge comes their way after retirement. As the debate on how to get pension administration right in Africa continues, one thing pension experts hope to see is the involvement of workers in the informal sector.
The informal sector has no social security benefits. So there we have to rethink. Nevertheless, we must be courageous as well. It is nice to project what we know or already know from the formal sector. However, is this the answer we need for people working in the informal sector?
Besides getting more Africans enrolled in the pension scheme, they also suggest close supervision of the activities of pension fund managers. This, they say, will help retirees get their benefits promptly.
The regulator plays a huge part there. So making sure that the pension fund administrators that are doing business, that they are well regulated, so that they invest the money responsibly, that people have an ability to complain if they can't get their money, that companies that are unethical or not doing business properly are actually closed down or are sanctioned.
There are also suggestions on what pension administration should look like in the next few years.
I want to see a bigger inclusion in the market. I want to see more savings, more people being aware of their financial needs and being aware of financial planning.
A lot of suggestions on how to make the pension sector work in the interest of economic development on the continent have been raised. Pension experts say all of these must be backed to the right policies for any success to be achieved.
Back to the issue.
Next on the news at 10, Nigeria Professional Football League winners to earn a whopping 90 million naira as prize money for this season. We'll have more in sports news. Please join us again.